Hello guys, and welcome back to another Atomic Cards video. This time we're having another look at some armies that we've taken to events that have ended up on the podium. So what we've got here is Tom's Army of Lake Town. Now, this one went with me to the I Can't Believe It's Not Borough event, which was in London the day before Borough. Basically, what it was there for was it was a quick event thrown up because the Borough event had too many people coming to it and it needed to get a little bit of extra overflow, and then it didn't quite sell out. So a couple of us who were going on a Sunday also decided to go on a Saturday as well, just for an extra thing. So this is a 400-point event. I'm going to pop that there because this took me to second place at I Can't Believe It's Not Borough. So first of all, if you're here and you enjoy this kind of video, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel and things like that. We're going to try and have a few more videos showing off kind of our armies that have done well, just because in the GBHL chat and things, a lot of people are saying, you know, oh, it's quite hard to find army lists and things like that people have done well with. So we thought, well, why not put some videos up and talk about them. So yeah, you could also then come in here and be like, oh, I want to see more of this on the channel, things like that, and we'll try and get it involved in some games. So this Army of Lake Town took second place, as I mentioned before, in a 400-point tournament. So first of all, why Army of Lake Town, and then why this build in particular. So the first thing you'll notice is at 400 points, there's a fair amount of models there. There are 30 troops and then the 3 heroes. So I've got 33 models at 400 points. In general, we always say, you know, like take the number divided by 20, that's kind of your average. So you're looking at like 20 odd models at 400 points. So I'm almost like doubling your model count at 400 points. And they're not bad models either. So for anyone who's not met them before, the Master is my leader. He has a few buffs that he can give out. So he can spend a point of might, and he can drop a 12-inch bubble of +1 fight to the troops, and it's a banner as well. So the troops start a fight free. He can check out a +1 fight bubble, turns them all into fight 4 troops, and a 12-inch banner. Then you've got Alfrid. Alfrid has 3 points of will, and during the priority phase, he can spend some of his will to, on a 2-up, give someone a point of might. So what he can do is chuck might at the Master to cut the Master up to like 5 might, so you get 5 turns of this +1 fight and banner situation, which is very, very handy. Basically having 33 fight for models, it's just great. Basically, it also means I've got 10 bows in there, which is particularly nice. Then, if that wasn't enough, I decided to chuck in Bard the Bowman. Bard the Bowman, on his horse, with armour, he runs up about 155 points, so he's a huge chunk of this army. He's almost a third of my army just on him alone. What he is a 3 attack, 3 wound, fight 5 little kind of wrecking ball on his horse with 3 might himself. Obviously Alfred can also give him might if he wants to. Plus, he has a strength 4 bow, which he hits with on a 3-up, and if he scores a hit, he can shoot it again and again, a bit like Girion can, so he can shoot up to 3 times. So you've got a really big ranged threat with this army, plus you've then got Bard's little wrecking ball. He's also not my leader, which means that I can use him and just kind of throw him around. And there are a few times where I've used him as kind of like just a solo mission. I've just yeeted him up the board and hoped for the best and that kind of thing. So, I've talked about it a little bit already, but how does this work properly? In essence, what I want to do is surround you with troops, and I want to use Bard to drop any heroes that don't have strike, and I want to use Bard to drop big troop killers down. So what he likes to do is he likes to go here monster hunting. So anyone's got kind of a cave troll or something rolling around, Bard is going to go straight for you. Or if you're the kind of person who's got some elite troops like berserkers and things like that, Bard is going to run in and just heroic combat off them for fun. if I'm playing an army that doesn't have Fight 4, it's great because I can use Alfrid to give Might to Bard instead. And then he's got kind of a fight 5 attack, 3 attack, 5 Might monster running around. But generally what I try and do is use Bard to do a couple of heroic combats early in the game, kill 3 or 4 of your models as well. So if you had that average 20, now you're down to 17 just from Bard, say. Then I've hopefully killed a few more in the combats around, and I'm hopefully getting those big 2-to-1 swings. I tend to use the troops to surround heroes to start with early on in the game, try and draw out some resources from them. After all, this is a resource management game, and I've got more resources than you, basically, because again, at 400 points, I'm looking at having potentially 7 might on the table, which is quite a lot, especially if they're all kind of on Bard, being used for more combat-y things. So yeah, warriors surround heroes. I hope the heroes use might, otherwise they're going to die. With, you know, if I've got 4 models but spear sports at 8 attacks coming in, you're probably trapped. I've got the master using his banner effects. I'm going to get that 6. You're going to have to get a 6 or use might to save yourself. And then there's just plenty more models where that came from, is my general kind of aim with it. And that worked quite well for me at the tournament. So I did things like, did the same thing with alerts, surrounded him, and then once he was down on resources, Bard went in and finished him off. I played against some other things that worked really well against as well. But yes, Azog's Hunters, where, you know, we could draw resources out from the heroes and then Bard can go and finish them off. However, it's not a perfect list and it does have some struggles. So the main thing that you've probably already noticed is that it's really reliant on the master buffing up those troops. So things that really cause it issues is anything with magic that can kind of shut down the master, or a big ranged threat that can deal with it before he gets there, is a big problem, as is Maelstrom Battle and scenarios where we're going to get split up. We do not like to be split up. We like to be together in one big clump. I mean, it's a 12-inch clump, but, you know, we like to be together in that big clump. We also need the master to be firing on all hinges. We had a tricky situation in the 3rd and 4th game of the tournaments where we were playing against Angmar, and I basically had to leave the master 12 inches behind my lines so that the casters couldn't get in and kind of immobilise and transfix him, but he could still reach the spear supports to give them Fight 4, so that I could still get a Fight 4 in the fights and win the fights, and a little bit of banner help, but it just causes a lot more issues like that. I also don't like Continent Champions, because the master is quite a squishy hero if you let him get caught. However, he didn't make it. He made it into combat once, actually, didn't he? But yeah, he doesn't really make it into combat very often. I try and protect him as best I can, and keep him well wrapped. So yeah, that's our kind of fears and thoughts. Going forward, what I would probably do with this army is, and what I'm going to do is, as I go up to more points, I'm going to fill out the warbands, and make them bigger, and add in Braga. So Braga is just insane. He's a 50-point hero. He has 3 points of might, but if he's within distance from the master, he, on a 4-up, uses his heroics for free. So he ends up with something like 6 might a game. So I'm already high on might. You chuck in that extra might, things start to get a bit mental. He's your move and march battery, and you're kind of controlling the tempo of the game, as well as then having Bard who can go off and kill stuff. You've got his daughters you can bring in, which turn him into a fight 6 free hero combat absolute unit. Basically, the sky's the limit for this army. Well, I say the sky, about 600 points. About 600 points is the limit for these guys. Then you want to be going to survive as a late town. Because then, once you've got Braga, Master, and Bard with full warbands, you don't really want to be adding too much more in there. You get to a point where you can't keep everyone within the 12-inch buff bubble of the Master and still kind of play the game properly. You don't have any access to shields and things, so your army's entirely defense 4. So that's my thoughts. Keep them under 600 points and you are golden. I do think they're probably one of the better armies in the game at these low points. Them and Goblin Town conveniently. So we shall see. I'll hopefully be using them a lot more in the future. So yeah, thanks for sticking around with me. Like we said at the start, if you do like these kind of videos, feel free to like, subscribe to the channel. We're going to get some more up soon. Otherwise, yeah, don't. Cheers, thanks, and goodbye.